The biggest news in the F1 world was confirmed last week when Lewis Hamilton announced he was making a sensational move to Ferrari from Mercedes. But what made the 7-time world champion jump ship? And are there more Mercedes employees heading to Maranello? Stay tuned to find out. Lewis Hamilton makes shock move from Mercedes to Ferrari. Formula One's biggest story in decades broke last week when 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton announced he would join the sport's most famous team in 2025. After reports from Italian media, Hamilton's move to Ferrari went from rumour to confirmed in a matter of hours, as Mercedes informed the world that he would in fact be departing at the end of this season. Mercedes' statement read, "The Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team and Lewis Hamilton will part ways at the end of the 2024 season. Lewis has activated a release option in the contract announced last August, and this season will therefore be his last driving for the Silver Arrows." The news brings an end to what is currently a 17-year-long relationship in F1 with Mercedes-Benz and an 11-year-long partnership with the Works team. As for what team principal Toto Wolff said, he wished Hamilton well, but was decidedly cold in his response. "In terms of a team driver pairing, our relationship with Lewis has become the most successful the sport has seen, and that's something we can look back on with pride. Lewis will always be an important part of Mercedes motorsport history. However, we knew our partnership would come to a natural end at some point, and that day has now come. We accept Lewis's decision to seek a fresh challenge, and our opportunities for the future are exciting to contemplate. But for now, we still have one season to go, and we're focused on going racing to deliver a strong 2024. Hamilton meanwhile took to Twitter a few days after the dust had settled down to thank the team that helped him become the joint most successful driver in the sport's history. "It's been a crazy few days which have been filled with a whole range of emotions," he said. "But as you all now know, after an incredible 11 years at Mercedes, the time has come for me to start a new chapter in my life, and I'll be joining Ferrari in 2025. I feel incredibly fortunate after achieving things with Mercedes that I could have only dreamed of as a kid, but now I have the chance to fulfill another childhood dream, driving in Ferrari Red." But is it more than just dreams that took him to Ferrari? Ferrari paid the big bucks for Lewis Hamilton's signature. With Hamilton being one of the top 2 best drivers on the grid, Ferrari's task of attracting him was always going to be tough and expensive. Reports suggest that Ferrari first wanted Hamilton for their team in 2023 and offered him €46 million a year, but the reason Hamilton turned it down is an interesting one. The Brit wanted assurances that his charity, Mission 44, would receive funding as part of any negotiation, and Ferrari duly came back with a new and improved offer. The Italian team, led by chairman John Elkann, offered Hamilton an improved deal of €80 million a season, with €20 million of that going to the foundation. Not only that, but another part of the agreement is the promise of a joint investment fund of around €250 million via the Exor family business, which would invest in Hamilton's charitable projects, meaning Hamilton's total pay packet could be in excess of €400 million. What about the length? The salary was not only an important issue, but also the length of a deal. In his negotiations with Mercedes last year, Hamilton reportedly wanted a 3-year deal, but the Silver Arrows were unwilling to give Hamilton, who turns 40 next year, such a long-term deal. The compromise was a 1+1 arrangement, which has actually blown up in Mercedes' face, given Hamilton has now exercised his right to leave after this season. As to what he signed at Ferrari, the reports suggest it's a 2+1 deal, meaning he would be with the team at the start of the new engine regulations in 2026 and could then decide if he wants to stay on. Lewis Hamilton's sim theory debunked. Another theory as to why Hamilton had opted for a move was that, having seen what Mercedes had cooked up with the W15, the driver was not convinced. With Mercedes tweeting an image of Hamilton in the car, many would have thought that this was his first day of sim work, but Boss Wolff clarified that and said the driver's actual first day of sim work came one day after his Ferrari move was confirmed. Wolff said, "First of all, the car has been developed in the team with a lot of science and a lot of data, and the driver gives us guidance of what he feels in the car, and then this is being dissected and then decided whether it happens or not. So we must not underplay or overplay the input of a driver and the development of a car. In terms of did we miss? No. Everything that we're doing it with consciousness and open eyes. and we felt that a longer term contract would limit our options going forward. So absolutely aware of all the positives and negatives and weighing it up, that's what we decided to do. So regardless of what rumours may say, Hamilton's Ferrari decision was not directly linked to the W15. Will Lewis Hamilton be the only one heading to Ferrari? With a star driver out the door, the next worry for Wolff will be who is going with him. The most obvious candidate would be Peter Bonington, or Bono as he's known, who is Hamilton's long-term race engineer and has become famous for the phrase "hammer time." Considering Hamilton is 39, he's unlikely to be keen to get used to a new way of working, and reports would suggest Ferrari are pushing to get Bono on side as well. As to whether Mercedes will agree to it, Wolff said that's something that will be discussed in the next few months. Wolff said, "I think this is a discussion that everyone needs to have in the months to come. As much as I've spoken with Bono already, when I told him, he said, is it April the 1st? That's something which we'll discuss in the future in the next couple of months." But worryingly for Wolff, Bono may not be the only one itching to go either. According to RacingNews365.com, another name is set to make the switch in the form of ex-Mercedes performance director Loic Serra. Reportedly, Serra, who was instrumental to Mercedes' success, has already agreed a deal to take him to Ferrari for 2025, the same year as Hamilton will arrive. But it doesn't stop there either. Trackside engineering director Andrew Chauvelin has been at the Brackley-based team since before it was even Mercedes and is now reportedly also considering a move away. Losing Hamilton is one thing, but losing him and some of your top minds may be something Mercedes struggle to come back from. Who will replace Lewis Hamilton? As to who will replace him, that's a question that even Mercedes don't know the answer to just yet, but what they have promised is a bold choice. Wolff said, "First of all, having George in the team is great for the team," said Wolff. "He's been going toe-to-toe with Lewis the last 2 seasons, there was nothing between them, and knowing that we have a driver at that level makes the decision for the second seat much more comfortable. And I haven't really properly reflected with the team on where we want to go, from rookie to very experienced, because I don't know yet what is the best for any potential driver that's coming in, or for the team going forward. If you told me 2 days ago that Lewis would be going to Ferrari, I didn't think it was possible. So situations and things can change quickly. Contracts are only as good as the driver or the teams want to race. And who knows what's happening in the driver market that could be unexpected and opportunities for us." As always, thanks for watching after what was a dramatic week in the F1 world. Be sure to like the video while you're here and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a release here on the DRS Straight.